Which line should I join when joining LPT? Business Builder or Rev Share? Let's dive into this. Doing some agent attraction out there, I've had a couple questions of which one should I join? Should I join Business Builder or should I join Rev Share? And you know what? It all depends. There's pros and cons to both, and it all depends on what your business model looks like. So we're going to cover a couple things today of what makes sense and why it makes sense. First of all, Business Builder. Let's get this out there. $5,000 cap, $500 per transaction for 10 transactions. Rev Share, $15,000 cap, 20% off of your commissions for every transaction. So, which one should I do? Well, it depends on what your business is doing. If you're not a high producing agent and not doing over 15 transactions a year, Business Builder might be the best way to go for you. And here's a couple reasons why. One, you're going to be making more money off of your cap. Obviously, $5,000 is not a big cap. And if you're only doing 15 transactions, 10 transactions, and you're done and you've capped out and you've got a couple more transactions, free of charge, 100% commission. Now, if you're on the Rev Share side, if you're not doing high volume, you may be taking that 20% and it may take more than 10 transactions for you, depending on how much volume you're doing. Also, number two, if you're not going to be doing any agent attraction, it might be in your best interest to keep with Business Builder. Now, if you think about it, Business Builder's $5,000, Rev Share's $15,000. There's a $10,000 difference between those two. It would take approximately 13 agents to make up that $10,000 in Rev Share difference. So if you're recruiting or you're doing agent attraction, and let's say a majority of the people come in underneath you as a business builder, as a majority of people are coming in, it's going to take about 13 agents for you to break even with that $10,000 difference. For every person that you bring underneath you, you have the potential of earning $775 a year off of that individual. You multiply that or divide it by 10,000 and it comes up to almost 13 people. So unless you're going to attract a minimum of 13 people, that Rev Share difference between $5,000 and $15,000 doesn't make sense. Also, number three, depending on where your market is and where LPT is in your market, if you're in the early adapter phase, you might be getting a little bit extra stock if you do join Rev Share. So that is another thing to take into consideration. If you're in the early adopter phase in whatever state you're in and whatever state is opened, you might be eligible for 1.2 or 1.4 times your stock award. And if you're in that case, it might be worth you to go over to the Rev Share side to earn the additional stock if you're going to be a high producing agent. You can earn more stock. You can also get down to that black badge. So that is another thing to take into consideration is how many transactions are you doing a year? Are you only doing 5 or 10 transactions or 15 transactions? Or are you doing 20, 25, 30 transactions or more a year? Earn that more stock that's going to be more valuable to you. So those are the top 3 things to take into consideration when to determine what you're going to do, Business Builder or Rev Share. I'd personally say about 90-95% of people are going to go Business Builder. They're not doing a ton of transactions, and agent attraction is not for everybody. Not everybody is going to be doing agent attraction. One of the great things about LPT is if you are doing Business Builder and throughout the course of your career you are bringing in people to LPT, you can see that in your back office in LPT Connect. And if it gets to the point where you have 10 or 12 people underneath you, you can switch over to that Rev Share program if it starts to make sense for you. So keep that in mind. If you're only going to be doing 1 or 2 agent attractions a year, maybe bring on a friend or 2 or a couple people, and you're here for 3 or 4 years and you've seen that you've brought 20 people over, it might be time to make that switch. I hope this answers some of your questions of which direction I should go. If you have any other questions, contact me. My contact information is below. Subscribe to this channel. Thanks, guys.